His lights are very harsh on the man with thinning.
Right. Well, you have to deal with that. Guess who it is? We're back. Sorry, again, we've been forever, but Simon's left a child unattended, and me and Ross have nothing better to do, so we thought we'd come regale you with our super, super hot takes on the world of Newcastle United. Let's get some of that enthusiasm going. Yeah, great. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to go chronologically from like the big thing that happened ages ago, and then we're going to work our way through, and I'm going to try and keep you on topic so we don't skip ahead, right?
Good luck.
So, do you remember how we went out of the FA Cup?
I very vividly do.
Yes, the Oxford game. Now, we've only seen highlights because none of us bothered going. But the big questions about that was we played a Wheaton side. You threw your man Barlaser in. Did we have Finley at the back again? Or no, it was Curtis Good.
Yeah.
And that... What do you call him?
Gary YouTube.
Gary YouTube played in the number 10.
Did you know he doubled his Messi on Neymar?
I saw that, yeah. And Ronaldo, apparently, he taught them tricks, I read.
It's a lie.
I wish they taught him going past a player.
He looks like he's been invited from a competition to play
a
big game.
Yeah, I could believe that. But anyway, we went out with a Wheaton side. Were you annoyed? Were you angry? How did you feel?
Deserved it. Play your strongest team when you can.
We did absolutely deserve it. I thought it was disrespectful to Oxford, the team we put out. And
disrespectful?
And I think it looked like we wanted to go out.
If that was
solely from the team that got
put out. If that was a big championship game, would have played my strongest team.
We didn't.
Third round by
If it was a mediocre championship game, we would have played a much better team.
If it was any championship game, we would have played a much better team than that. Do you think the team he put out should, in theory, have had enough to go through? Because I know that even the experienced players, the senior players, were still like Hayden, Perez, very young. But they get a lot of games. You'd expect them to be better than what Oxford had.
But judging from the highlights, it could have been a different score. Because Mitro didn't have the best of afternoons, did he?
But Mitro puts that penalty away. It's 1-1.
Who knows?
Who knows? But I think we can say we thoroughly deserved to go out at the very least.
Oh, totally, yeah.
The big thing that was doing the rounds, I think you tweeted this, Simon, was that if that was Pardew, there would have been hell on.
There would. There would have been murders in the streets.
Why wasn't there so much hell on with it being Benitez?
Because # Rafa we trust. That's literally the only explanation.
Was it not the explanation that Pardew never had anything else to play for? So it's understandable for Rafa to want to make changes.
I understand if they were to say that we've prioritised the league over the cup, but they didn't say that. They've said, well, that side should have been good enough to win, and that's it. But it looks like the policy is exactly the same, regardless of whether we're in the championship or not. And our squad's probably thicker than that. Like it could have been a better team and not been the same.
Thick.
And not being that bad.
But it looks like it's shifting back to the old times, doesn't it? Getting off topic to another topic.
What old times are that?
Where Mike Ashley rules everything.
That's like point
that
7.
Right?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that on his list.
I didn't even look at his list.
Oh. Do you priorities? We're out there. Do you think it's a good thing ultimately that we're out?
Yes.
I don't think we would have lasted any longer.
Derby played last. Who would have had?
Beg your pardon.
Man
Who did
U.
we get? Would we get Man U in the next round?
Did Oxford get Man U?
I had no idea. I lost interest when we got knocked out.
Derby played Leicester last night. They played about half the...
Derby reserves played Leicester reserves last night.
That's about half of them. They didn't have Ince and Bent, but the rest of them was largely what we had.
Didn't have Ince on Saturday, did they?
They had the lad...
Because Paul put him in his pocket,
Paul Dummett,
didn't they? Simon.
Got home.
He played all right, huh?
Keys, phone, wallet, Tom Ince.
I must have seen several lad Bible-ish accounts tweeting that same picture. False quartet.
It's Tom Ince.
Excellent.
It's not Messi.
Oh, here we go. You know what? It'll end up being Messi one day, and you'd be like, "Well, he's past it. He's past it now."
If it is, I'll go in Fenix window and get all of my genitals out.
All of them.
That's living forever on the YouTube now.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm that confident. I think the last couple of games Paul Dummett's actually been pretty good.
It's been alright, yeah.
He was the best defender against QPR, which admittedly wasn't saying much, but
yeah.
better players had a worse game. Put a couple of good blocks in. I think he's improved. PD7, as he's now called on Twitter.
Defensively, I don't argue with that at all. But I think his decision making is still absolutely horrible.
Oh, he's thick as a prison door, like. We're not disputing that.
And any team that wants to stop us playing, all they have to do is put 11 men on our right hand side.
Yeah, because we do.
And then we'll still not run anywhere up the left at all. Gouffran's getting away with murder here, by the way, in this league.
I think Gouffran's
playing particularly poorly. And
Gouffran's early
season ovations.
Gouffran's early season form is getting him a lot of passes.
Yeah.
Now,
which is ironic because he can't make.
He was particularly bad in the QPR game. I thought it's good. It's seamless.
He was terrible.
Moving us on to the QPR.
Since he dyed his hair, that's the problem.
Exactly.
But seems to have improved Yedlin, weirdly. Yedlin's really kicked on since he dyed his hair.
It's killing Vern.
It is.
This must be awful for you to watch. Like, he finally gets into the first team.
Flicked on the website this morning, the Chronicle website. He's going, apparently, Vern.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't blame him. Like, he's been...
He winning pool tournaments last night, and then today he's off.
Did you see much of Yedlin's tea party?
The roller coaster of
Honestly,
football.
I would prefer to boil my eyeballs than watch that again.
Why?
Because I think it's so cringeworthy. My willy turned.
Do you not like tea, Simon?
Don't sip your tea at me like that. I hate it. Colo's party was another one. Oh,
stop having fun. Just a few lads having a game of pool.
It's silly. No, that's fine. No, I don't mind them having a party. I mean the hashtag.
Lazar looking like a prick with his... I was saying this to him.
Everything.
Just how he's sitting there. He must be the most dislikable human being you've ever seen with his haircut and his eyebrows and he's dancing to his
knocking about with
house tunes.
Apart from his house tunes. Apart from Vernon in that group, they're probably all a bit like that.
Yedlin looks like he's...
Kieran Clark, short back and side.
My mate bumped into him in the pub the other day and said
he's your mate all right?
Lad.
I've heard he's lovely, yeah.
Said he was really kind, loving,
gentle.
Yeah, I don't think kind was the right
warm.
word.
I think Kieran, despite what I think we all said about him at the start of the season, Kieran.
Well, this is what I mean. People sometimes tweet me, going, "Oh, you've been proven wrong, haven't you?" I'm going to hold my judgment back until this time next year when it's been proven that he is a headless chicken like Stephen Taylor.
Ipswich's Stephen Taylor.
The Islands.
Yeah. He's not getting challenged, is he? I mean,
he's been bloody fantastic. Yeah. But then again, Mike Williamson was last time we're down here.
Anyway, back on the QPR game.
I remember that. QPR.
Yeah. Do you think, while we're talking about Kieran Clark, he should have been on the pitch to concede that own goal? Because he looked absolutely haggard.
I was shocked that he didn't go off.
Same. He looked like he played. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't found wanting, but he looked all over the place.
Have you ever been punched in the eye?
Yes. No.
It's really, really painful.
It's very disorienting as well.
The fact that he's then trying to head the ball is like silly to me.
Well, just this day and age, the fact that he stayed on was a shocker. The slightest nick these days
normally
on your head and then that's it.
Especially Hanley was on the bench, who's senior defender.
Has Rafa changed the medical team since he's been here? Because it's just another indication that they're not quite up to scratch. Cause
I think he has actually. Yeah.
Derek Wright's still hobbling about.
It's fine.
Doesn't race anybody anymore though. He's the equivalent of when you go to school and you've got a problem, leg hanging off, and they're like, "Do you want ready?" Wet paper towel.
Wet blue paper towel over it.
Nice, Derek. Nice lad.
But you sent me 2 tickets to a game once.
Did he?
Yeah, with a little note that said, "Dear Adam, enjoy the match, Derek Wright." My dad sorted that out. That was quite weird. I had to ring him and say thank you. I was too nervous.
That's a name.
The follow-on of the QPR draw led to what we shall say is a raft of speculation.
A
raft of speculation, because it also followed the closing of the transfer window, in which we did not obtain a single player for a promotion push. He was quite disappointed with that. I think we all, for a bit, thought we might get Andros back.
Yeah, but in hindsight, the Andros Townsend link came out of nowhere 2 days before that.
No.
It was
around for a while.
It was going to happen, and then it dropped off completely.
Yeah,
and it came back with about a day or two left.
All of a sudden, it was the thing that the entire fan base had pinned their hopes and dreams for the rest of their life on. When, in reality, Andros Townsend...
Not being overdramatic at all there.
No, I'm going to also say something that will annoy you here. Andros Townsend wasn't great for us.
Oh, come on now.
He was good because nobody in the Premier League runs at people, and he was doing it successfully.
I think we got the sort of best 9 or 10 games Andros Townsend will ever have in his career.
And he
don't know that,
he didn't do a
quite
great deal for us.
But at this level, he would have been absolutely... And you're complaining we don't do anything down the left-hand side. Where would you have started him?
Yeah, on the left-hand side.
Or he wouldn't have dropped Richie for him. So he would have been very well equipped down both flanks. He would have been a tremendous pickup for us.
I just don't think that there was call to lose it quite the way that some people did.
No,
Christian
I mean,
but there never
back.
is. There never
like,
is.
Look at the reception that Sammy Amiobi. Sammy Amiobi.
Yeah, but that's tongue in cheek. That's Simon. That's people taking the big.
I don't think it is.
It is, man. Come on.
Wasn't for me. I lost me nut when he came
I
on.
genuinely don't think it is.
It's people just laughing because they know how crap he is, and he's back in the team. So let's have a laugh.
Don't listen to him, Sammy.
It's exactly
Sammy,
what it is, man.
I don't believe it.
He needs to settle down. He's driving as well. You know, he hit me the other day.
Excuse me?
Right.
Sammy Amiobi?
Sammy flying in his Range Rover. Nearly clipped me. I was like that.
Really?
Shouldn't be hiding on his drive. Getting stamped on.
I was annoyed about the transfer situation until I remembered Patrick Van Aanholt cost £14 million. That tweet, Simon. Explain to the boys and girls what it was. Explain yourself.
I said not, that man. In the current market, which is the words I missed out of the tweet, he's worth.
The thing I didn't say.
He's worth £14 million or more.
I would, to an extent, if Jeffrey Schlupp, who didn't play for
Leicester,
worth 12.
Exactly.
If he's on 55 grand a week,
the comments that I responded to all the people who were calling his names made it clear that I meant in the current market.
No, right.
But he scored loads of goals.
Yeah, but for every goal he scores, he costs something about 7 or 8.
Probably.
He's not very. As they showed on.
Yeah, but the only insight to that is the Sunderland fans we've got in the office, and they're not exactly the most well tuned.
And when they leave, they're like, "Well, he's the worst player ever."
He was dreadful.
Great.
Isn't that every football fan?
Yeah, pretty much.
Shagan was rubbish.
The speculation about Rafa going though, obviously it was triggered by the whole not getting any players in, there being things going back to the way they were. Him saying I asked for him, I wanted him, I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Managers being in the dark, decisions happening above them. Did it actually happen? Was there ever actually anything going on, or was it just getting blown out of proportion?
I think a lot of newspapers needed to sell issues and traffic.
It must have been weird of us not having a big drama during the transfer window, so...
Yeah, they invented one.
Kind of.
I don't think that they invented it completely, because I watched his reactions and you could tell
he was disappointed.
Of course he's going to be disappointed by that. He's not going to come into a news conference and say, "Oh well, to be honest, lads, I'm absolutely delighted I haven't got the player."
McLaren and Pardew used to.
You see Steve's when he got asked about it, so don't take us back there.
You see the clip of him saying that. He got more money in January.
He spent £80 million last January and still got relegated.
Oh, George Falcon says that McLaren got fined for talking about our transfer policy publicly. He got sent a written warning.
By who, Ashley?
Ashley, which is hilarious, but there you go.
Amazing.
Look, the thing about Rafa is Rafa does this at every club that he's ever been at. He does a power play.
Here we go. Simon Gallagher, Napoli season ticket holder.
No, he does. It isn't me that's doing it. It's a very knowledgeable lad who.
Well, that was the point. That's the point I was going to bring up. Is that the crowd was starting to turn at matches a bit. The atmosphere had gone a bit flat, and then all of a sudden there's this little bit of a to and fro in the press, and we come out for the Derby game, and honestly, that's the best atmosphere I've seen in St James's since possibly the Spurs game. People were the whole way through singing his name, and I know you're going to think I'm being naive and young here, Simon, but I genuinely think that atmosphere got us over the finish line against Derby. Because we were absolutely... I think
pretty much blind luck got us over the...
Make your own luck in this game, mate. I
don't feel like that's the case.
I think if it had been a bad atmosphere in that game, I think we would have dropped a point.
But think of it this way. That atmosphere was the best it's been all season. Why was the performance not the best it's been all season? If there's a direct correlation between what the fans say and what the players do,
why wasn't it a good performance?
There was a good result. The end of the game, the team just stopped playing, and they invited Derby on, and Derby have nicked it.
Derby have been in good form and are good away from home.
But everybody but the top 3 in this division are poor teams. Derby have got like a handful of good players.
Look, we should have finished them off. Perez had 2 or 3 really good chances. Mitrovic had a great chance. That could have been could easily have been 3 or 4-0, and it wasn't. So we're hanging on at the end, but we did hang on quite well. Aside from that one that was cleared off the line in the 96th minute, and the one that missed from a yard.
Yeah.
I thought we played performance-wise. I thought it was really good.
It wasn't really good. It was all right. We beat Derby 1-0.
No, it wasn't really good in the sense of we wiped the floor with them. It was really good. It was really good in the sense of we constantly did what we needed to do.
That if there's a direct correlation between how good the fans are, how good the team are, that wasn't correct.
No, I think that proves it because we were hanging on, and we actually showed a bit of steel and determination. I said after the game, I've seen so many Newcastle sides who would have shit themselves and lose that game. Sorry, you'll have to bleep that out. They would have panicked and
That's
conceded.
probably true.
14,
but the
49.
fans singing about Rafa did not make Yedlin stand on the line.
No, it didn't. But there's other elements. I just think it helps occasionally if you've got a team
I think
that are
it's
behind.
great for the fans. I think it has not as much of an effect on the players as they claim it does.
Ross, what do you think?
Well, I wasn't there.
But as a concept.
It definitely, when the place is bouncing, the away team generally goes into their shell a bit more, don't you think?
But it didn't at Derby, against Derby. I do think that, but I also think that there are players in the world like Joey Barton's, even Stephen Taylor, bless him, who react the exact opposite way to a hostile environment. Heed the balls, we'll call them.
And the other way around, when it's the atmosphere's really pushing a team on, they get carried away with themselves.
Check Teody.
Kieran Clark.
He's the last
season.
The last one on the list. Yeah. Well, regardless of all the dip in form and the bad results,
we're still top of the league.
Injuries, we've come out with that top of the league. We're now level on games with Brighton. Back on 29. Got a game in hand on Reading, and we're back on top.
It's a bit worrying though, because Rafa was like, my communication with Lee Charney's been fantastic, but there was stuff going on above his head which I can't let go. I said this all season.
Like every club, though, isn't it?
There's one man that's going to bugger all this up first, and it's Mike Ashley, and there's a hint already. 6 months into this new venture.
Well,
maybe. I don't think that there's that much drama there. I just think that Ashley's not arsed, and Rafa wants him to be. Because Rafa is probably that kind of bloke, and he wants everybody to bleed the same passion that he has.
In all fairness, we're spent in the summer as if we're saying, "Oh, let's hope we don't have to in January."
Yeah. I know, yeah.
So I was like, that was all right.
We made some poor signings in the summer as well, and we've got away with it so far.
Really?
Who? Name names.
I don't think Hanley was a good signing.
He hasn't played.
He's been solid when he comes in.
Exactly, he hasn't played. I don't think Lazar was a good signing.
Lazar's been, yeah. But again, he's not done much wrong.
Does a fantastic Cruyff turn though.
Several of them.
That whole game.
Sells has been a bad buy. But other than that, I'd say everyone else is.
Gamez looks all right on the ball, but he's not getting on the pitch because he's injured. I know exactly. But if you buy a Croc, it's still a bad signing.
Yeah, but not if you buy a Croc for a position that you're not necessarily desperate for.
So why buy him?
Squad player.
Dressing room, locker room leader, experience.
In that case, he's still.
You don't know what he does off the pitch.
That goes back to the John Carell's argument, doesn't it? John Carell stayed in Newcastle for ages because he was a lovely lad.
You need them.
Look, if a player's not playing, they're only a bad sign if you've spent first team money on them.
Doesn't it?
If you spend first team money or first team wages on them, then they're not playing's a bad thing. But if you brought them in to pad it out and to come in when needed, that's fine. Yeah. I think Gamez has been fine. Like Sells, we spent first team money.
Don't get us wrong, I think Gamez looks good. I just don't think that he's had an impact.
And people would have probably said Murphy was a terrible buy until 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he's come in when needed, done a really good job.
He's better than Meat Rooney.
Of course he is. He's far more experienced.
I don't think
his link-up play is just streets ahead.
He's cleverer.
I thought Mitrovic was very good against Derby.
So did I.
I thought he held the ball really well.
His problem is that Daryl Murphy could play for 3 games and not score and hold the ball up well, and everybody would love him. Mitrovic goes 1 game without scoring, holds the ball up well, everybody jumps on his back. Somebody made a good point.
£30 million.
I know, exactly, that's it. But how much was Daryl Murphy? At 33 in the championship?
3 or 4, wasn't he?
Yeah. Which is a lot of money.
But he scored 60 goals in 2 seasons or something, didn't he?
Somebody said on Twitter, I can't remember who you are, but at whatever, Geordie Gallagher Boy 94, said it would be different if Mitrovic was called Alex Miller and he was from
that's that point disproven already. Oh no, because I'm in the minority. I hated him.
I love him.
He outstayed his welcome by about 13 years.
He outstayed his welcome from the minute he laughed in Dennis Wise's face. That was the only good thing. He scored against.
What's that story?
It's not true.
No, it was his debut.
Yeah, he laughed in Dennis Wise's face.
Dennis Wise tried to square up to him and he just laughed in his face. It's honestly, it's almost as good as the Albert Janino picture.
Yeah, but that picture makes Janino look really hard, I think, because he's like
stupid.
No, I think that picture makes Janino look really cool.
It's in the box at the stadium.
The box that me and you never get invited to, despite the fact the spare seats every time.
My 7-week-old child has been 4 times. He doesn't cost anything though. Loves the football.
Neither do we when there's spare seats.
It's like last minute.
Oh, you wouldn't want to go. It's not very fun.
Have to cut this out.
5-course meal and beer.
6-course meal actually. Not beer.
Oh. Anyway, why do you hate the Amiobi so much? Is it because he's a joyless?
I thought you were going to say something else there. I love the Army Hobbies. Tommy's a nice lad, and the lass who was a runner who went to my school, she was a good.
Was she a netball player? Did she play netball?
I think so. She was also a runner though.
Sheila.
Sheila Ramiobi. Whoa, Sheila Ramiobi.
It's just the others.
Anyway, back on the transfers thing. Yes. I think with the exception, you make an argument that Lazar should have probably played more for the money we spent on him. Sells was definitely a bad buy, but the rest of them I think have been solid. Every one of them has done pretty much what we brought them into.
The Army, hot and cold. That would be
coming into it though.
The other one I would raise an eyebrow at.
But coming on, he was
excellent.
He
is coming into it, but he should have started like.
He should have done, but
like shit off a stick.
2034. But if a player doesn't come in and isn't good immediately, like I mean,
what gets on his back and then he cries and then.
No, I just mean what they're going to do. Just be terrible. Like.
I don't know.
They're going to improve. Like he's improved.
I see Perez has gone the other way. So
Perez is having a bad season, but.
Then he had a good. Well, yeah, we played well. One game. Just one game though.
Out of 20 what?
He's just feeble, isn't he? He stopped putting his foot in.
He does look a bit.
He's playing against the likes of Grant Hanley, who would eat him if he could.
Yeah, but he was doing that in the Premier League.
The difference was when we went down the first time, Colaccini looked like a tart, Enrique looked like a tart, and Gutierrez looked like a tart. And within about 6 months, they were like, right, okay, I'm actually quite big. It's a football thing. I'm going to just get stuck into them.
Jose Enrique must have put on 2 stone of muscle on his shoulders when we went down.
And then when they came back up, they were absolutely nails. Thick. Perez just hasn't bothered. He's just not bothered to apply himself physically. He's still relying on his ability.
Is there a notion that he thinks he's too good? Because that's what I think it is. He tries all these flicks and stuff and not working anymore.
Unpack this one for us. Go
on. Links to Barcelona, Real Madrid, et al. Have gotten his heed. He tries these flicks and whatnot that never come off, and he never tries to win the ball back when he loses it. He's not putting his foot in like he used to. I think he thinks he's above it all. That's what I personally think.
Interesting.
I don't think he's the right sort of player. Bloody hell, for the championship.
Baby struggles, eh?
Yeah. I've got a nerve. I don't lose any sleep.
I don't do anything.
No, I do absolutely
He's told me he does now.
I just prod him.
Just provide the semen and the rest
of them. Not for him.
No, I was going to say not for the bear.
How well, lads?
Right, bit of good news. Gale's back soon. Right.
Next game.
Allegedly. Going to hit you with a mad stat, right? Bear in mind we're still top. When Gale's back, that'll be the first time him and Shelby have been available together for over 2 months.
I thought it was August.
August?
Yeah.
That was
got overexcited. I knew the stat
2 months.
And I was trying to
2 months.
Stop here. Stat.
2 months.
Yeah.
And we're still top.
Yeah.
2 best players, arguably.
Well, they are, aren't they?
Definitely.
Most effective.
What does that tell you about our depth and the squad players we've acquired, Simon?
It means we've literally survived on the bones of our arse, and the league is terrible.
Yep. The one signing I thought we desperately needed was another Shelby.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy just to wait until the summer because you probably get someone better.
You'd probably get somebody better. Yeah.
Not Alan Judge. Is that his name? The Irish Messi.
But he's a winger, isn't he?
Injured as well.
I don't know anything about him, Simon. He plays in this league.
Brentford, Irish, brown hair, beard.
Oh, Brentford, by the way.
Same name as a former Newcastle player, who's also called Alan Judge.
Brentford, who should so have done us a favour.
I know.
They could have gone 3-0 up at Brighton, and as soon as they missed that penalty, I was like, well, now what's happening
there? He has saved some penalties, him.
Aye.
Must be 15.
And a knockout assist.
Yeah.
Again.
The thing about Brighton is, they're good, right? But
they're also
really
good.
Possibly the spawniest team I've ever seen in my life.
Taylor did tweet after the game, Chris Hughton must have a horseshoe up his arse the way they're going on.
There'd be a nice horseshoe though, because he's a nice guy, isn't he, Simon? Nice guy.
Yeah, but that doesn't win you anything, and I still don't think they'll come up automatically.
Really?
I just don't think they will.
I think they will.
They haven't had a blip. Had one lost game.
Maybe that was the blip.
No, I don't think it will. I think they'll struggle at some point during March. That's very specific.
During March.
Okay.
Who are they playing in March?
I have no idea.
I've not seen
those particular
fixtures.
Don't fancy March, do they? Brighton, they're used to playing in hot temperatures.
As ridiculous as it sounds, that is actually a point. March has traditionally been where they've absolutely bottled it.
It is the end of the season.
Yeah. How many times have they dropped out the automatic places into the promotion ones and then not gone up that way? Quite a few, yeah. More than once. Well done. Sound scientific method, Simon. I like it. Should we just have a little moment to talk about the departure of Czech Tiote?
No.
My neighbour, Czech Tiote.
It's like a game of bullseye, innit? Here's what you could have had in 2012: 30 million ducats.
Yeah.
Now we've got 1.5 at most.
20.
But can you imagine what would have happened if we'd sold Toyota at the end of that first thing?
Oh, there would have been.
There would have been hell
There
on.
would have been hell on. But then Jimmy Perch would have stepped up and he would have been captain of the club now.
But arguably, I'm not going to even bite to that. But arguably,
Bet he does.
Toyota,
Bet he does.
Toyota then stopped playing.
Yeah, he did.
We
So
should have
we
cashed
might
in.
as well as
20, the summer of 2012, we should have cashed in.
I thought he
hindsight.
still had quite a lot of good games the year we were in the Europa League, even though none of those good games were in the Europa League.
It was mostly only against the big teams.
It's when he got the captain's armband when we switched to the old Wonga.
Aye.
Yeah, was that 2013-14?
Yep.
Whenever he got the armband, then he was unbelievable.
I
But
still
that
blame
was
John
like
Carver for it.
five games.
Because John Carver is a very passionate man.
We
and
know,
I
but
think
John
that-
Carver was there for the 2 years when he was waxer.
He's
Yeah, but
legit.
he didn't. The thing is, he didn't start on the bench in those years. He was always on the pitch, so he didn't have John Carver sitting next to him going, "Look at that! Look what he's just done to him! Remember that?
steak.
Right, just go and get him."
meat.
Yeah, exactly.
He has legitimately gone from being like one of the key players of his side that finished fifth to
Playing for Chinese second division.
playing for Chinese second division team after sitting on our bench for over 3.5 years. About that. That's an absolutely extraordinary fall
it's a
for him.
proper shame.
How old is he? 28? 29?
He's got 16 wives, though, hasn't he?
Was that ever confirmed? No one. He's
Must
always
be
knackers.
knackering.
Oh, yeah,
Must be
right.
knackering. Pink champagne in the front seat of a Range Rover with 16 wives in the back.
Got a hard life.
Sounds
Chill, chill.
amazing.
Really? When you? I mean, headache. Innit?
How big's his car?
Range Rover. Pink champagne.
With 16 miles.
He's also got a big. Remember those Hot Wheels you used to get where they change colour when you put them in different colour water.
Yes.
Remember the colour they were before you put them in the water like that? They looked like a Zap
Purple.
lolly almost.
Yeah.
They were like weird greens and
Yeah.
yellows. He's got some kind of sports car in the garage of the building. It's just
We
covered
know
in
you
dust.
live next to him.
No, below him. I'd love to say next to. It's well below.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. That flat's empty.
Do you want to buy it?
I don't think it's not on what culture money, mate. Maybe, but yeah, it's an awful coloured car, and it's been
Victor
sitting there.
Anichebe lives there now.
There.
Through that
the
wall.
fire exit.
Through that wall. Through the fire exit. Through another wall. Over the car park.
Do you mean
Isn't
do you mean
that
Bolt
where,
the keys which are over there?
No,
Oh,
they're there, aren't they?
it's that way.
yeah.
It's that way. Didn't Modiami live there? Oh no, he lives with you as well.
Shelby?
That was another name that you.
Shelby.
But no, I've never seen Diarmy. I've seen Mbemba there. Never
thought-
seen Diarmy.
I thought Diami was the one with the water.
No, that was Henry Saive.
Oh, that's right. Aye.
Allegedly,
Get them-
as
get
the
them-
Tesco delivery
Here's the
driver
thing.
told us.
I've been playing FIFA. The players that come back in the summer: Saive, Krul, De Jong, Tovan. Is he gone?
What? All the players on loan?
I don't know if Tovan. I don't know if Tovan has gone fully or not.
Tovan, I'm
Anybody
sure.
knows?
I'm sure
Who
Tovan.
do you keep and who do you sell?
Well,
Just so you know,
as I-
Tovan goes up to 81, so...
Does he? Oh well, there you go. Keep him definitely. As you know, I made some foolish statements about TM De Jong being looking good, so we'll have to keep him.
Why did you?
In order for me not to be wrong.
When did you make foolish statements about it?
Every
Last
bloody week.
Season, I kept saying
Every
he was-
time we did
I
one
think
of
I think
love
he
him.
looks good. I like him as a player.
It's just a shame that he doesn't play that. Do you know that old man game? Walking
You
football.
double
It's a shame he don't
standard.
play that.
You're sitting there going about Gamez, going, oh, if you buy a croc, you this, that and the other. What's De Jong?
I know.
He's the biggest croc I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Raw.
But wasn't
Since
he before
croc
he
on the
signed him?
PS1 or whatever nerdy game thing you can say there.
Croc 2, yeah, it's a good game.
How long's left on that timer, Simon?
1 minute, I think.
It's 1 minute 17 seconds.
Great, yeah. So
Time to
right,
wrap up.
quick one. Would you have De Jong back?
No.
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Would you have Tovan back?
Quick one.
Maybe.
Yes. 81.
Would you have Krul back?
Probably not.
No.
Saive?
Yes.
No.
But he
Great.
played well.
When?
The Everton game, he was outstanding.
His first touch in
And
the
then he
his
went off
first
the pitch
touch.
and he went, Rafa, do you know what I think of you?
His first touch in the Newcastle shirt went out for a throw-in. That's all I'm going to say.
Is that true?
That is true. Yes, I was in the
amazing
PB with Matt Smith, former What Culture
About
employee.
95% of Paul Dummett's touches have gone off somebody's shins
But
or
he's
out
got
of play.
Tom Ince in his back pocket.
Got 40 seconds there, lad. 40 seconds there, lad.
Tom
All right.
Ince
Is there anything else you want to get out quickly?
Paul
Anything you want to get off
Dummett's
your chest about
still-
Newcastle
still
United?
really bad.
Still good win the league?
Yes.
Rafa Mate, still good manager?
Yeah. Well, depends on Mike, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to wake up in July one morning, Sky Sports News. Rafa
Alan
Benitez.
Pardew has been confirmed as Newcastle United's manager. Director of football, in fact. Even
Rafa cites differences in transfer policy as a reason for his departure.
Great, thanks Ross. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. I'll say that we're going to be doing it more regularly and back soon, but you know what we're like. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can follow Simon on Twitter at
Cy Gallagher.
Ross.
R.W. Tweddle.
And Adam Cleary. Thanks. Bye.